Hi everyone, my name is Wendy and I'm a student at Mbara University. Introducing to you my database project. I am mainly concentrating on a hotel management system. This is the overview of the whole project. So my project overview has mainly its purpose, what it's replacing, its benefits, core functions. One of its purposes is to streamline and automate hotel operations. Mainly what it is replacing is the file-based system of recording information. The benefits is it's basically improving efficiency and enhancing customer service. Its core functions is guest tracking, service management, room bookings. So that's what it's doing. So system capabilities, we have booking of rooms without double checking. That's a very big problem, mostly for people who have come to visit. Maintaining comprehensive guest information. It ensures guest information is kept private. It manages information about different rooms. This is the main reason as to why double checking never happens if it manages the information. It organizes staff assignments and processes payments both for the customer and for the staff. So its development methodology, we are mainly going to focus on the requirement analytics. Then we'll look at the entity relationship modeling, where we'll see the entity relationship diagram. The database implementation using MySQL will show you some bit of implementations of tables. And then I'll show you a sample query development. So on our business case, we are mainly in the application domain. We are mainly focusing on room reservation management, guest information management, room inventory system, service management, staff assignment, and payment process. So some of the users of our system we have the reception, the management, like the owners of the hotel, the housekeeping staff department, and the accounting department. Some of the tangible benefits of this is reduced operation costs since the system is automated and replacing the manual system. Of course, there is reduced costs of Then the second point is decreased booking errors since the system controls double booking. There is improved room utilization since there is optimized occupancy rates, since every room is allocated and double bookings are prevented. It enhances price rates since there is data-driven pricing decisions, so you can't just determine a change in room prices without majorly changing the whole database pricing. So there is faster checking in and checking out. This reduces on the amount of time wasted. Some of our intangible benefits, we have improved guest satisfaction since most people are satisfied by the fact that there is less time spent on the reception. There are better staff productivity and morale since there are payments and everything is processed on time. There is enhanced reputation of the hotel. There's a data-driven decision making since every decision can be made on your phone. So since this is a new kind of thing being brought to replace the manual system, we need user training requirements. So some of them, we're just going to basically train the reception staff with some of the things we're going to add into the management. Then there is also advanced training for managers so that they can actually manage the database to manage payments and track everything in the hotel. So I just use module specific training for housekeeping and accounting so that they can track which room has been left by what guest. Accommodation for varying technical proficiency to allow on-time practice. So we're going to look at the risk assessment. We have it technically. So we have 3 risks we're going to look at that we think that are most likely to happen with our system. It can have a failure, so system downtime, which is easily solved through regular backups and failover system. Then we have data security issues, but this is easy to control through access control and encryption of data. Then we have data security breaches. This can also be controlled through input validation and constraints. So remember, for these ones before, we have looked at risk assessment, but this is technical. But this is risk assessment, which is organizational. Organizational mainly within the staff. So one of the risks is staff adoption resistance. Some people may fail to come up and join the system. So one of the solutions is we should do staff involvement and benefit highlighting. You have to sit down and educate the people about the system. Then the other thing is scope creep. And easy solution for this is clear boundaries and change staff. If you have such people, just change the staff. Then the other thing is inadequate training. This is the various easiest ways. You just have to implement training of your staff. And then we're going to look at the system limitations. What we are looking at here is what is limiting this system. So the major thing is we have records but do not process final transactions. You can have records but they're not processing final transactions. This is very hectic to the guest. Then you can have single property focus, when you're mainly focusing on like guests, yet the hotel focuses also on staff. Then you can have limited reporting capabilities. Since everything needs to be reported in this system, it is a bit hectic, so there will be limited reporting according to your staff. So no guest facing interference initially. The rest we can talk about later. Then we have the database. So we're going to look at the database logical design. Mainly our entities include guests, rooms, room types, reservations, services, service usage, staff, departments, and payments. And in this logical design, what's in the entity guest, we have guest information and identification, room details and status, and so on. So one of the relationships, we have the entity relationships. A guest can make one or many reservations. Yeah. So we have guest to reservation, that's one to many. A guest can make more than one reservation. One room can be reserved more than once. So one room can have many reservations over time. Then room type to room, it's a one to many. So one room type can have many rooms. Maybe like having a deluxe, it can have very many rooms. You can have like 4 rooms on the same level, which are deluxe. Reservation to service usage, one reservation can use many services, and so on. So this is our entity relationship diagram that explains these previous relationships. As we can see, it's very clear and very outbrought. So if you want to know more, you can read through. Then we have the user interface components. What do we expect in our database? We have the login screen, which is basically an authentication and access control, which is we have the login screen for the hotel and that of the guest. We have the dashboard to occupy overview and quick access, guest management, reservation management, room management, service management, reports, and system administration. So we have database physical implementation. Mainly I focused on the implemented in MySQL. So that's the main thing we are going to look at, and it's mainly looking at the reports and the queries that go on within the database. And if you're seeing properly here, I don't know if you see properly, this is like I've given you sample data, and one of the first things we have done, I don't know if you're seeing right, one of the things we are doing here, we have tried to implement it. So if you can look here, we have put some of the details within the data. So we have like the department table. if you can look clearly. So these are screenshots. If it's not clear, I'll try to include the documents under. So their tables are including the information on everything here. So it's quite detailed but easy to read through. You can read through if you want to. Yeah, that's what it's all talking about. So we have also here for payment table includes the payment ID, reservation ID, its amount, and so on and so on for different guests, as you can see. Then I think that's all. So in conclusion, these are the different sources I use to acquire my information, and I still remain Kokletaje Wendy Catherine from Mbarara University. Thank you everyone for your time. Please don't forget to like and subscribe.